Alright, I have the ISTA Plus hooked up here. Not sure how well this is coming through. Those are the 6 fault codes showing at present on the car. This mileage is in kilometers, not miles. That's pretty obvious, I guess. That's not a big deal. There's probably a way to go into the tools menu up here and change it to miles, but I don't care about that. So the top two are related to the check engine light, the 118001 and the 401. And you can see what mileage those were, or the mileage they were both tripped at. Looks like it happened first at 68,770 kilometers. So what I do is go down here and click on show fault code, and this will tell me not a whole lot that I didn't already know. It gives a description. Obviously, the overall is fuel air mixture too lean, which we already knew. The diagnosis monitors the mixture adaptation process. So here are the conditions that must be present. And this says that this fault will only be tripped if it detects it for more than a minute. So here's all the action in service. So it says, if additional faults are entered for the following components, these must be processed first. So in other words, if you got an oxygen sensor only, I guess you'd go with that. But I am assuming that this is the order that we should go in. So looks like the O2 sensor, and it says before catalytic converter, so my question is that the one that's up on top of the engine above the intake? So let me use the mouse here, it's a little bit easier. The mouse doesn't seem to like my genes too well. I think this is really funny. It says, check differentiated air intake system for tightness, thereby checking the following components: crankcase ventilation, so that would be PVC, oil filler cap, oil dipstick, I'd like to know where that is, tank ventilation, brake servo, cylinder head cover. Oh, and the last thing is replace injectors. Anyway, so I'm going to screenshot this fault and then I'm going to clear the faults, because if I go to the details tab and find out where the mouse is, if I go to the details tab, it says the fault is not currently present. So, and it does say that this fault will trigger a check engine light. So, there's a lot of stuff here. Now maybe with some of these data points, like lambda controller output, and like the fuel rail pressure, I don't know. So going back to the next fault, mixture control, it pretty much says the same thing. So now I'm going down to show fault code, and it's essentially the same thing. And this seems to be more specific to the O2 sensor. That's why I'm just going to go ahead and replace that. Action and service. Again, I guess this is the order of what you would check. I like that replace injectors is last. So I guess since I have this captured on video, I don't really need to take a screenshot of it. Details. Again, it says fault not currently present. However, this fault does not trigger a driver. So this particular fault, this 118401, does not trigger a check engine light. The other 118 fault does. So we're going to go back here, and I'm going to delete this. My screen resolution is not correct for this program, and I don't know how to change it. So I'm going to delete fault memory. It should just be that one. I wonder if I just deleted all the faults. Interesting. It just turned the car off. Before, there were 6 ECUs that showed some sort of fault. That is interesting. It would seem like it's done. So those faults were in this DME, digital motor electronics ECU. There's obviously more than one. Alright, now the dash is still showing a check engine light. So I'm actually going to shut this off. And then I'm going to restart the car. As you can see, the check engine light is gone because I've cleared all the faults. So we're going to see what happens, but just based on what this is telling me. Oh, another fault of interest, it said my battery was low. It needs to be replaced. That's probably pretty accurate because I think this is the original battery, which means it's 5 years old. I probably should stop at Sweeney and have them pull the service history and just make sure that Larry did not actually have the battery replaced. I don't think he did. That was not something that BMW was covering on the technical upgrade version of the N63. They were only doing that on the customer care package. Oh, well, that's it. This seems to be working. It's very, very complex, has capabilities beyond anything I can imagine. can't do any programming with this. You need to either have an ICOM interface to use with this Integrated Service Technical Application Plus version, or the ISTA P. Then you need still yet, I think, a different type of interface from the OBD2 port. But I mean, it seems to be working, but obviously this is something that BMW mechanics probably go through weeks of training on. So there's a lot of stuff online. That's it. We'll see what happens. See if the check engine light comes back on soon. I think I am going to go ahead and we'll just try getting an oxygen sensor. Just let me know if that is the correct one that it was talking about, the pre-catalytic one. See ya.